future
Yes.
with all of the instability around us. So we need a rock. We need something to anchor us. And we have always known that we need to anchor ourselves in our own region, our own Caribbean civilization. And so how do we impart that to our children? How do we impart that to ourselves? Language is so critical because, as I said, language is the repository. Language doesn't come out of a vacuum. It comes out of your history, your heritage, your culture. So by teaching and learning about the language, you are learning about all of that, your history, your heritage, and culture. And so Dr. Alsop and the late Wendy Griffith Watson produced this for our school system, and she has charged me with delivering copies of this book to all of the heads of government of CARICOM, not just the full member states, but she has extended the gifts also to the associate member states. So that is where I come in. But I'm happy to have Dr. Alsop with me because she can speak even more authoritatively than I can about the wonders of this book. But I want viewers to know that it's really a very beautiful text, full of photographs, very attractive, and it covers a whole range of things that will be of great interest to our students.
We know it as the fat pork. But it's also called the cocoa plum.
Cocoa plum, yeah.
Wow. I mean, we know ackee. They call it get it in some other places. But ackee is also the word we use in Jamaica.
In Jamaica for that fruit that is poisonous before ripe, and then when it ripens, you can make a beautiful dish with it, and they make ackee and saltfish.
And if I look into the general vocabulary section of this book, I see a word called foodist, and I was wondering, Pearson, whether you might be a foodist.
Perhaps in my youth, but not these days at the moment. But you know, it breaks it up because this broadens our understanding and appreciation. It eases conversation, but it also educates as it goes. And so sometimes we encounter language which we understand, and then there are times which cause us to raise a question mark. And so this dictionary, the usage of it helps us to be able to communicate more easily one with the other in the region.
Yes.
So talk to me about, you've broken it down into a number of sections.
Yes, let me talk to you about why it has come into being and why we had the idea to do it. As you can see, this book, the original book, Dictionary of Caribbean English Usage, is quite massive. It is also a general dictionary, so it does not break anything down into themes or topics. It is linguistically complex and sophisticated, and so while we were doing it, and I was helping Richard with the compilation, we had a number of discussions, and we said, even before I started in the work, he had thought that, you know, this is just not possible for schools. So we have to have a school edition. So we discussed this idea, and before he passed away, because we had done that dictionary, this dictionary, and then I had done my multilingual dictionary of flora, fauna, foods in 2003. And he said to me, well, you know, you're carrying on the work, you know more than anybody else about it, you have been fully involved in it for years, so would you make sure that you produce the school edition? And I said, yes, it's a promise, I will do it. And so I worked at it, not immediately because he passed away in 2009. I think I started work on this in 2013. And at the time that I started, and the way in which Wendy Griffith Watson comes in, we had a team when we were doing the DCEU, as I call it, of people working, doing various tasks part-time. And I was the head of that team. And Wendy was our friend. We knew her. She had been a graduate student when I met her doing her master's. So Richard had introduced her to me. And then when we thought about who could be part of the team, we automatically thought of her. So she was a part of my team of item writers who helped to draft manuscript, and then it would be perfected by Richard and so on. So at that time, Wendy was going through a health crisis, and she said to me, look, I don't know how much longer I'll be around, but I really would like to get my head around something that helps me to use my brain. And I said, oh, well, great, because I'm about to start the school edition and organize it. So you can join me in that, and don't worry about it, because I know what has to be done. I know how to do it. So, you know, you will just be going along with me, but you will still be able to give me your opinions, critiques, etc. And so we started. I went through the whole of the DCEU, broke it down into themes. And I'll tell you why I did that, because a school dictionary needs to appeal to the children to whom it is directed. And so you have to think about their learning processes. And one of my hats is that I'm a teacher trainer in English and foreign languages, so I know this very well. And so I thought, well, instead of the general approach, let's do it in themes, because I had already started that approach in the multilingual dictionary. So I broke it all down into themes: flora, fauna, foods, festivals, folklore, religion,
clothing,
children's games, etc., etc. And then there was the whole question of the acronyms and abbreviations for Caribbean organizations and associations. And I felt that that really deserved special mention. And although I did not use Richard's approach in going deeply into the idiomatic phrases, I gave some, as you will see at the back of the book, as examples, because one of the things that really makes Caribbean English extremely rich is the phrases, the idiomatic phrases, the proverbs.
Like do Dixie, for example.
Do Dixie.
Do Dixie.
Yes.
I see it.
And the whole way in which compound words are put together: foot, bottom, neck, back, hand, middle, and so on and so forth. So I had used that approach and then went into the various themes, but of course each theme is arranged alphabetically so that it's easy for you to find what you want. And started the compilation, simplified everything, took out what needed to be taken out, and also included a few things that may seem to be more sort of in the sphere of internationally accepted English, as we call it, which is English, world English across the globe, of which there are several varieties depending on the territory in which it is spoken.
Right.
Went into some of that for the benefit of the students. So the whole thing is a teaching tool.
Yes.
And the thing that I wanted in particular, because Caribbean English is so rich, is that it should go across the subject areas. So it's not only for the language arts class, it's also for social studies. If you're teaching geography, which is not much taught now in schools, you can use it. If you're looking at sort of general current affairs, you can use it. So it goes across the disciplines. And that's why I added at the back a list of what are called dictionary skills, showing the teachers and the students how to use the book, as well as how to have fun using it.
Yes.
Because you can do word searches, you can do all kinds of things, riddles, word games, etc., etc. And you remember when we had our spelling bee.
Of course.
How interesting that was.
Of course.
And this book was given us a prize.
This is so comprehensive, folks. So very, very, very comprehensive. And it's really a must-have, I think, not just in schools alone, but in every household. Because at some point in time, we will encounter someone else from the Caribbean region. We need to understand each other more. And as Ambassador Commichon says, in this is our life. Our life lived through generations of people. And so understanding how we talk, understanding how we act, and getting different phrases as well that help us to be able to share easily one with the other, is all of that's contained in this one indeed. And so Ambassador, I know very soon you'll be making presentations to different heads as well. And so when do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm traveling to St. Kitts tomorrow for the Council of Foreign Relations, Foreign and Community Relations, COFCO as we call it. And I'll take some of the books with me, because I think through the foreign ministers I can, get them conveyed to some of the heads. So yes, I'm very pleased to be doing this, because the hope is that by presenting copies to the different heads of government, that will help in getting these books in the school system, not only in Barbados, but right across the Caribbean community.
Absolutely.
And as Prime Minister says, we need to aspire to be global citizens, but with deep Caribbean, Bajan, in the case of Barbados, but across the region, deep Caribbean roots. This will help in that mission.
All right, and this is called The Dictionary of Caribbean English Usage. It's a school edition by Jeanette Alsop and Wendy Griffith Watson. And so we want to commend this book to you. Ambassador, we have to leave it there, but thank you as always for engaging us in these deep, rich conversations on CARICOM. And Dr. Jeanette, as always, good to have you company. And you've shared so beautifully your story, but you've also shared the publication, through the publication of this, all that you've been able to do so far. And I know there's a lot more for you still to compile. So I wish you well.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
And thank you to Ambassador for
my pleasure.
Organizing this. I really am happy to have been able to come and talk to you a little about it. I could go on and on and on.
That we perhaps can do another time.
Yes.
But I thank you all indeed. Morning Barbados breaks right here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories, and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 20 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we are joined now by the change maker in himself, one and only Tony Olton, as we continue our journey towards emotional intelligence, looking particularly now at self-management. And so, Tony, good morning to you, first of all.
A blessed good morning to you too.
Thank you, my brother. And so, folks, I really hope that you have been paying close attention to all of our conversations on this because it's education. And as Tony asked me when he sat on the couch just a moment ago, he asked me, how are you doing? My response naturally was, I'm staying in the moment. Yes, sometimes we want to fall off that wagon, as other people in other spaces want to tell you, but it's when you know that that weakness hits you, you just know where to go to pull back. We have been employing all of the techniques and tools we've been sharing with you, so you pull yourself back because you're on a journey towards emotional intelligence, part of which is self-management. And so, talk to us a little again, Tony, so we come to what we want to talk about today, about when it comes to self-management, the things that we need to be mindful of.
Right. Who am I?
Right.
And what is it that I want? That is so critical. To engage in what we call consequential thinking. They allow my brain, my frontal brain, to be able to connect with my emotional brain, my thinking brain to connect with my emotional brain. I need to remember that. Yeah. If I'm going to be effective, I can't function exclusively only always out of an emotional state. That my emotions, they're mine, they're real, they were given to me for a purpose. But if I always, because they come and they go and they fluctuate, if I only always function from an emotional place, I begin knowing that I can't be effective.
In other words, you can have accidents. You will have accidents.
You will have accidents, as you put it. The challenge is to minimize the incidents, the frequency, and to minimize the intensity.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. But that comes from a space of knowing you, as you've said.
Yes.
Knowing why you react the way you do. In other words, the triggers.
Yes.
And then you also need to know, what to do when those triggers happen.
Yes.
Take that deep breath. Take that moment. Just be in the space and understand what your contribution.
You don't always know what to do.
Kidding?
Yes, sometimes you can be you can be in a place where you don't know what to do, but knowing what it is that you want.
I get you now.
Knowing what it is that you want and creating sufficient space to think about of all of the options that are available to me. So you have to think about the options that are available, and of all the options that are available to me, which option or which combination of options will get me to that state that I want. You will not always know what to do. Sometimes you can be overwhelmed.
Yes.
Can you create sufficient space? And I like the way Stephen Covey puts it. He says that space between the thing that happens, called stimulus, and your response, he says in that space lies your growth and your happiness. Wow. So you have to be able to create that space.
All right. It becomes a habit. To get better and better becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit.
Habits are formed.
Yes.
Habits are generally the way, doing the thing that you do repeatedly.
Yes.
But it's difficult, therefore, to break.
So we say that you replace habits. You don't necessarily break a habit. You have to replace a habit. If we're going to talk about habits, we first have to understand how the brain works. Okay? Our brains seek efficiency. Conscious thought requires effort. Our subconscious mind is always active. It is always on the go. You can only sustain conscious thought for very short periods of time. That is why in school, class periods are 40 minutes.
Right.
We're taught, for example, doing the work that I do, facilitating, training, running training programs, etc. There's a formula that we use. Y + 2 is the quantum of time between slots. So if I'm engaging a 7-year-old, I know I have 9 minutes.
Yes.
To teach or explain their concept and give opportunity to practice and work with the concept. If I'm treating to a 35-year-old, I have 20 minutes because the formula is Y plus or minus 2, plus or less than or equal to 2. So an 18-year-old or older is 18 minutes plus 2 is 20 minutes. That is why in church, if you do church, Pearson,
people nod off.
After 20 minutes, and that preacher mind is still holding forth.
People nod off. It's gone somewhere else.
Yes.
What do I have to cook? Those kinds of
Did they leave their unplugged in?
Yes. So you take the age.
Yes.
And add or
add
minus
2.
2.
Yes.
Oh, so then you have to engage me for much longer, Tony. much longer. Anyway, but so you're right when you said you can't break it, you have to replace it.
You have to replace it.
Because oftentimes I keep saying to people, don't tell me stop. When you tell me stop, then what do I do? Because that's the next question.
Yes.
What do I do?
Yes.
So encourage me to do. And over time, in taking the other road of doing, you find that thing that you were doing negatively before goes away and you now have a new way to do.
You've opened up the discussion that we can go in different directions.
Take me down either road.
So let's pull back for a while. To understand habits, you have to understand, as I said before, how the brain works. We are pleasure-seeking, pain-avoiding creatures. What we teach is that all behavior has a positive intention. Now, take a little while for that to digest. All behavior has a positive intention. We're either seeking pleasure or we're trying to avoid pain. So what I teach is that habits are neither negative nor positive, good or bad. It's the outcome. It is the outcome that can be, and the words term we use is either be empowering or disempowering. Yeah? So they're neither negative nor positive. That when we engage in the behavior, whatever the behavior is, we're seeking to do one of two things in our lives, essentially. Do I derive pleasure from this, or do I find myself experiencing pain? So you have to have that understanding. So you have to understand that our subconscious mind is at work, always at work. Our conscious mind kicks in and out, has a very short lifespan, and that whatever I do, I'm trying to achieve one of those two states. We need to understand it as well.
No, that's mind-boggling. Not mind-boggling, but that's a shift for me.
Yes.
Right there. I hope it is for you as well. Whether it is that you're engaging in something other people determine to be negative, you're just seeking to have pleasure or to avoid pain.
Or to avoid pain.
That's all you're seeking to do. And so accepting that means it's going to be difficult for me to do something else.
Give me that again.
But he's seeking pleasure or pain. I'm saying,
I want to be sure that I capture the thought.
At the end of it, whatever happens, I'm just trying to do my best. I'm just simply
to achieve one of those two states.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people find very, very difficult. Why they find it very difficult to do something different.
Yes. And oftentimes the pursuit of pleasure ends up being painful because I am seeking pleasure in the short term, not in the long term.
Tony, you're complicating this.
I'm hoping not to.
So let's break it down. It becomes painful because I was simply seeking short-term pleasure.
So the alcohol,
right?
The illicit drugs, any of those behaviors that may provide a short-term hit.
I get you.
But it is the pursuit of pleasure that is causing me the pain. And that goes back to the point I made earlier about knowing what it is that you want. You have to have a very, very compelling sense of who am I and what is it that I want. And what is it that I want that allows me to be productive, allows me to be a productive in my family, in my community, in my nation.
So it's just you. Everything points right back to you.
Everything points back to you.
But we tend to point to someone else. It's someone else's problem.
Yes.
But
our fault.
Our fault.
Our fault.
So it's really you.
I am the way that I am because of you.
Yes, that's what we do.
When you're in that space, then you're speaking from a place of weakness. Yes? Because you've given that power then over to somebody else.
I want to know how to break all of that, though.
Okay.
That's what we're going to look at when we come right back after this commercial break.
Absolutely.
Right now, we're back in a moment.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, we're approaching 10 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. This interesting journey towards emotional intelligence continues now with Tony Alden, who has, as I was saying to my crew here just in the break, shaken my entire world, my way of thinking. And if it can happen to me, I hope it's also happening to you, because that's the space we needed to have learning obtained. And so I'm about now to learn.
Yes.
I hope you are as well. So Tony, let's talk first about understanding those 3 different qualities of habit.
Yeah. So there are three elements within the question of a habit. Okay. So the first element is what we call the cue. There's some stimulus outside of yourself. Something happens, you see something, hear something, you touch something, or there's also within internally your own thought processes can trigger an action. That's the second element. The second element we call that the routine. Is that thing that you do. And the third element then is the reward. What do you derive as a result of executing the particular routine? So think of anything that you do that leaves you automatically. The most common example I can think of now, because I see it all the time, is use of our cell phones.
Yes.
The moment your cell phone pings, that's the cue.
Yes.
What do you do?
Me? If you know me, because I can't stand those things, I can't stand that ping either. I must tell you, but you want to reach for it to see what it is.
Yes. What am I missing, right? Who's seeking to connect with me? And what's the reward? The reward is that sense of connection, that sense of being in the know, right? So what is the cue? What is the routine? What is the reward? No. Remember we said earlier that you don't really break a habit.
Yes.
You have to replace a habit. How can you replace that habit of picking up the cell phone every time it pings? You know, I am amazed when I see security officers on the job, on their phones. We become slaves to our habits. So we're not thinking consciously, we're just going through the motion. What would happen if you turn your phone off?
You'd
turn the volume down.
Yes.
So you can't hear it.
Yeah, I can see what people start to think. Oh dear, then I'm missing the opportunity to
what?
To know what's going on.
Yeah, and to connect.
And to connect, yes.
Yeah. See how many likes I have. If suppose I put up a post, I want to see how I'm doing in terms of the likes. That tells me that I'm important. That I'm important to something, to someone. So what happens if you turn the phone down? What happens if you set yourself specific times that you will only respond or pick your phone up? So if you can make a shift in the cue or make a shift in the routine and still derive your reward. So what's the reward I want? I want to connect. So when I use my phone now, my phone is to call up person and say, what are you doing at lunchtime? So I'm facilitating that sense of connection, but I'm no longer a slave to my phone.
You know, I do that already anyway, Tony, I must tell you.
Okay.
My rule of thumb is when I leave this compound, that's the end of it for the compound.
Okay.
The compound cannot invade the other compound,
spaces,
so to speak.
Yes.
And then when I'm there at home, I'm not simply responding to every alert that comes from my attention. At my convenience, I will do so. And I think for a lot of people that, and for me in particular, that guides me, that helps me a whole lot to relax and to get away from the rat race that we know as life.
Absolutely.
So it's to find those kinds of routines that help us to be able to avoid that press.
You first of all have to be aware of the cues.
Right.
those things that trigger those responses within you. You have to spend time in being present. You know, you said you have to be present. It is not just a comment or it's not trait. You really have to spend time noticing yourself, being observant in the moment, so that when the trigger comes, can you arrest it? Can you switch out the routine? So that you still and make that routine function in a way now that you still achieve your reward.
It sounds easy, right, folks? And it can be easy, you know, but it's a habit we're building.
Yeah, so what you're doing after a while, the new cue, manipulation, the new routine, still deriving the same reward, you've replaced the habit.
But practice makes either perfect or
normal.
Correct, normal. Indeed. Yes, please. And so you talked about the 2-minute rule. What's the 2-minute rule?
Right. The 2-minute rule is you have this big picture of what you want. You break it down into its lowest common denominator. What do I mean by that? You want to read a book? Read 1 page today.
Yeah.
Read a page today.
And the next day read another page. And the third day and so.
And then 3 days later you might be reading 3 or 4 pages.
Yeah.
What have you done? You've eventually read the book. So whatever it is you want, set a system up where you break it down into smallest parts, take a part. Is the old saying how to eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time.
1 bite at a time. That's right. So 1 bite at a time, and you find yourself replacing the habit.
Yes.
Replacing the habit. And then maintaining consistency, because as I said, setbacks will occur from time to time, and you want to beat yourself up. So but how do we maintain this new way of doing what we do and responding to how we respond?
You tell yourself that exactly right behaviors are made up of approximately right behaviors.
Jeez, I told you that's powerful.
What it means is I reward myself for every incremental step that I'm making towards that person that I say that I am, towards achieving those things that I say that I want to achieve. Mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, spiritually. Exactly right behaviors. You see, we wait until we're getting it exactly and perfectly right. No. Every little step you make, you reward yourself. Or you, at least you don't reward every time fully, but you
start with the
acknowledge it. You acknowledge it.
Start with the recognition, acknowledgement, and this
and self-correct as you're going along. Again, paying attention to your cues. So those times when I went off, what really happened? Yes. How well did I do in arresting myself and putting myself back, or did I just go with the flow, as they say?
Bit by bit, moment by moment, as it goes, and it gets bigger and stronger, and you get it done. And so we're talking here about not just breaking bad habits, but replacing those bad habits, or what we call bad habits, because we just misunderstood the pleasure or the pain we're trying to avoid. And so consistently, as time goes by and we allow ourselves a space to be able to really stop for just a moment, to ponder what it is and what is it I'm really seeking, and explore all my options within, and make the best and better choices indeed about how we respond. That's what helps us to become better and bigger indeed. And so the thing that you want us to do, Tony, over the next few days is
spend time observing yourself. That's the mastery.
We don't like that, you know.
Is it? Yeah, you see, because we have these 2 eyes and we look out.
Yes.
We don't spend enough time looking in. Spend as much time as you possibly can observing yourself. Because what we say is you can't change what you don't observe. You can't change what you don't observe. So self-observation, noticing those cues, knowing that when the cue arises, you have a choice of what practice, what behavior you're going to engage in, and have a very clear sense of what it is that you want.
Look inside.
Look inside.
Do not be afraid about what you see.
Yes.
It might look a little bit dark.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay.
But in searching in that darkness, you will find the thing about you, whether it is fear, or whether it is just something that you're trying to avoid in terms of pain, and what is that pleasure point that you're seeking to have as well. You'll find it.
How best do I get there in ways that don't undermine me?
Correct.
Or in ways that allow me to become self-empowered.
And then you begin to recognize that I'm not so bad. I'm really not so bad. Perhaps
I'm quite good, actually.
Thank you, Tony. and so I'm actually quite good. But it's also helping me to be able to have a better relationship with myself.
Yes.
My man is my comment. With myself, but also have a better relationship with others as
That
well.
sets up having a better relationship with others.
Correct.
Yes.
Patricia Ben is saying, thanks, Tony Alton, for such great information. Your way of interacting has been fantastic, and you're encouraging her brain, retraining her brain as well. See?
Yes.
So people are already thanking for the retraining of the brain. I know this is what you do, but I know that remind us again about the thing that you've launched so that we can all be a part of it.
Raising a more emotionally intelligent generation
Yes.
is our national initiative to bring this awareness and this practice into the space that we call Barbados.
So get engaged, get it and engage. Look within. Let's sit sometime this week to look within.
Yes.
Let's begin to identify ourselves as we see it, truthfully and honestly. And then let's see what we get with that. All right? Can we all do that? We want to continue this real soon. Tony, thanks a lot, as always.
Peace and love.
Back to you, my brother. We're taking a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
At this time, let's take a look at some news now. It's Common Entrance Day in Barbados, and according to the authorities, 2,981 students are registered to take that exam today. Among them, 16 students have been granted permission to sit the exam early at age 10. And the Minister of Educational Transformation, Senator Chad Blackman, is reminding those students that there is no need to be nervous, since that examination does not determine your future. Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw says 116 students have requested deferrals. And she explains 106 of those are requesting deferrals from Class 3 and are not yet adequately prepared, while 10 are from Class 4. There's a suggestion by the executive of the Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors and Entrepreneurs that officials treat farming like insurance with relevant premium being set. Rachel Egard met with Barvin's president, Alistair Alexander, and she filed this report.
It is high time that farmers and vegetable vendors band together to become one, and the sector be treated like insurance and the relevant premiums be paid. This is the only way to ensure the farmers' needs are met. That's according to President of the Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors and Entrepreneurs, Alistair Alexander, who says the attitude of those in the sector has to change.
I call upon the farming community, and I have been calling upon them to really get together, organize themselves properly, especially the crop producing farmers, to get themselves together in a proper organization, right, to cooperative organization, to actually approach farming in Barbados like if it is one, like if Barbados is one farm. If you understand what I'm saying, like if Barbados is one farm, it is time that we instead of we having that competitive attitude, that we start to have that cooperative attitude towards farming.
Mr. Alexander says there are a number of issues plaguing the industry, including an increase in water rates and climate change. He says officials have definitely felt the effects of climate change, with depleted yields in some crops like tomatoes. He adds yam and sweet potato production are also down.
A great fundamental in farming is water. So you can have all the big plans, all the great and grand ideas for farmers, and you don't have something as simple as as adequate and cost-effective access to water, you're going to have a problem.
Recently, security has become an issue at the Mighty Griner facility after one of the kiosks was broken into. But Mr. Alexander says the level of security they are able to provide is dependent on their resources.
If I could have had 24-hour security, you could be certain that Barvin would have done so. But we are self-reliant, right? We are the ones who run this market ourselves through our resources, and the resources are not that big.
Mr. Alexander adds 5 years ago they were moved to their current location as the facility on Cheapside was a temporary one. And they remain hopeful they will be able to complete the overall look of the new market in short order. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
CIBC Caribbean has made yet another financial injection into government's One Family program. Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs with responsibility for crime prevention, Kirk Humphrey, says the bank donated $8,000 to the initiative last year and is again contributing the same figure this year. Addressing the handover ceremony, Minister Humphrey said the money will be used to empower the program's beneficiaries.
It's our view that training has to be the essential component to be able to break poverty. People's capacity to work, people's capacity to earn is the fundamental component, along with the many other pillars in the One Family: counseling, healthcare, access to education, housing, many things. But definitely if we can get more people working, we feel that we'll be able to break poverty. And those funds were used to help us empower people to be able to work, to give them official training. These funds will be used to participate in a reading program through Dr. Bab's reading program, to allow young people to be able, again, to be able to read and to have those skills that they can make a contribution to Barbados as well.
Of country for CIBC Caribbean in Barbados, Kimar Polius says the bank is pleased to partner with the One Family program to help improve the lives of Barbadians.
This is our second year of participating in the One Family program, but going beyond that, going all the way back to COVID, we would have supported the ministry in supporting the people in our community. This is exceptionally dear to us as a bank. We are from this community and we want to give back.
Well, the manhunt continues for murderer Keyshawn Lamar Anderson Thomas, alias Pappy, Paps, or Tom. Thomas, formerly of Seaview St. James, has escaped from authorities while at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital on Friday last. You are reminded that those of you found assisting any wanted person can be prosecuted. So anyone with information that can lead to Thomas's arrest is asked to contact the Criminal Investigation Department, the Central Police Station at 430-7189, the Police Emergency at 211, Crime Stoppers 1-800-8477, or you may at the nearest police station. Let's take a look at sports now. 4 Barbadians are in the West Indies' 15-member squad to face Ireland and England in the upcoming one-day international series. They are Captain Shea Hope, Roston Chase, Matthew Ford, and Justin Graves. They all are joined by Joel Andrew, Casey Carty, Amir Jangu, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Brandon King, Evan Lewis, Gudakesh Muti, Shafane Rutherford, Jaden Seals, and Romario Shepherd. The Windies will take on Ireland from the 21st to 25th of this month, and then England from the 29th of May to the 3rd of June. That's a look at news until now. We'll have more news at 12 noon right here on TV8. Morning Barbados comes right back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
Lord will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 10 after 7 now. I'm absolutely sure that you have heard of Kickstart Rush. And sometimes you ask yourself the question, well, how did they get so good? Well, the technical director is Ronaldo Jokes. He joins me now as we take a look at how they've used sport to empower young men in our community and also to give them opportunities abroad to further develop not just their skill, but to find themselves placed in some very meaningful, positive outlets to add value to not just the self, but to country as well. Ronaldo, good morning.
All right, good morning, Pearson. Thanks for having me. Thanks, and by extension, having Kickstart Rush here with you guys this morning.
You're very welcome, my friend. Let's talk a little bit about the academy, I call it, Kickstart Rush, and the genius that you've really been able to put together to find opportunity for these young men. Talk to me about the start and what you're doing.
Yeah, so as you rightfully said, we are now known as Kickstart Rush. Traditionally, for perhaps the last close to 3 decades, we were just Kickstart. But just after COVID, we merged with Rush Soccer, which is the biggest youth soccer organization in the world, with place in over 48 states in the US and then across 5 continents. So we're part of a very big organization, but bringing it back home domestically, based in Wildy, we've always attracted or had the opportunity to attract a lot of quality persons and by extension transferring them into quality players. And these boys who traveled to Spain, 4 of them in particular would have came up through the club through our under-7 program, and they're now under 15s and under 13s. And we had the pleasure of attracting another who has added tremendous value to the club. So to say the genius, I'm just a small part of it. I have a board who's very supportive, some parents who are equally supportive, and the players are just fantastic. A lot of them are very well socialized, so we just add a bit of the sporting element to it so that they could in turn add value to the club and by extension the country.
We're going to talk about that and break down a little bit in just a moment. But the merger with Rush Soccer and the benefits that derive therefrom. Talk to me a little bit about what's wrapped up in that merger and what you have brought to Barbados by that merger.
Sure. It's all about providing further opportunities. You know, we exist on a very small rock with few professional opportunities. So what Rush has, it allows that grassroots element and provides professional and collegiate opportunities, a direct pathway. In my era of playing sports, we had to record video and do a lot of stuff in order to get that opportunity. Now we have to be seen. So now we have that clear direct pathway with Rush. And what made the marriage so, I would say, what made the marriage so ideal and perfect for us is that we shared similar values in terms of the grassroots process and the necessity of it, that is not just a one and done, but a steady process of merging the talent of each child, the academic of the child, and also that overall passion for the sport. So we recognize that we did have these things in common, and the marriage was perfect.
Yes. So it's about development of the individual, not just because he loves playing football, but because of his passion for progress, his passion for success. And you open up the pathway for him to, or her to, girls are part of it too?
Yes. So Rush, they have pro clubs, well, they have professional men's team in Croatia, Dubai, India. But there's also a female program, a professional program in Austria. And we do have girls at Kickstart Rush. Actually, from very, very young, our under 5 and under 7 program, we have girls going all the way up through to under 13. So we are very inclusive, and we don't have a female specific program right now, but that is the immediate intention, especially after the recent success that we've had at the youth level amongst the boys. Now we have a men's team in the Premier League, so to put the cap on, to completely dress, would be to having a female program.
Completely dressed. I like it, man. And so that's what happens. And so you operate from your ground, your space in Wildy.
Yes, right there over at Barclays, the old Barclays ground.
Right, the Barclays. Oh, I got you. And so that's where the club meets.
Yeah.
But you also, along with the whole process, because the Rush International sees potential in some of the children who are part of your organization, and they offer them opportunities to travel and experience. You dropped words like Spain just now. So talk to me a bit about how they determine which child or children get the opportunity to go.
Perfect question, and I'm pleased to go into it. So obviously they perform at Kickstart, they go through their paces during the week, and there are 2 main events that we go to that Rush put on. There's Rush Fest, which caters to under 13 players. We're currently preparing for that. We made our debut last year in Colorado and did fantastic. Actually, it's 2 of the players, a couple of the players who performed at that tournament were invited to Florida last year for the Rush Cup. So the Rush Cup is their biggest tournament, their most coveted tournament, where they attract teams from their other Rush nations. Like last year, our team played against teams from Puerto Rico, Bolivia. There's something as far as within Alaska, they actually have a team from there. So once they go to the Rush Fest and the Rush Cup, the technical hierarchy of Rush identifies these players, and then from there they're then selected to represent the Rush Select team at the President's Day tournament, which is in Arizona every February. And then from that, they're then identified further to then represent the Rush Select International, and that's where our boys were selected to go to Spain. Excuse me. I would have mentioned that we have teams in Croatia, India, Austria. There's one in Albania. So all across the world is Rush, and because we have that direct pathway, our players are identified and have these opportunities to then pursue, whether it be a professional career with the teams I just mentioned, and there's the Rush Academy in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So they have the opportunity to pursue a more scholastic route if they have to.
When you stop for just a moment, have you ever, you're hearing yourself as you speak. But when you hear yourself as you speak and list all of these wonderful achievements, what do you hear? How do you feel about that?
Ambition to achieve more. An ambition to achieve more. We just have over 200 kids at Kickstart. We recognize each of them won't be a professional, but there's a place for every one of them. So we don't just want to isolate and regulate everyone with professional opportunities. So as I say, a pursuit for more, because we actually have 2 players heading off to Canada next Monday. We have one of our players one of our first homegrown players who is getting the opportunity to go to the Croatia club. He traveled last night. So we want to find a place for everyone, and we recognize that there is a place for everyone. Everyone may not be a pro, but they may pursue being a coach, manager. So we try to provide these opportunities, and Kickstart Rush, we do have the space for these opportunities. And if you or anyone you know is keen on joining Kickstart Rush, you can check out our website at kickstartrush.com, and we are also on Instagram and Facebook.
Nice. Kickstartrush.com, also on Insta and Facebook.
Yes.
And so the parents who are watching, whose child loves kicking a ball, kicking anything around indeed, and you would see this little boy or girl outside kicking all the time, and they're looking for a space for this child to develop further. Kickstart Rush. Remember, you can find them online as well. And talk to them, to the parent, the mother generally, who's frightened for this little boy might break his leg or something like that, about what football does for the individual.
Well, I mean, I may use myself as an example. It provided me with an education. It provided me with professional opportunities, the opportunity to network, to develop myself socially, and the pathway of football, sport in general. But football, because of its easy accessibility, isn't adhesive. It allows you to connect to people, allows you to develop yourself personally. And I mean, overall, I seem a little biased being a sportsman and a footballer, but it provides pathways and opportunities beyond your imagination. So, yeah, football, again, as I said, is adhesive because of its easy accessibility. As the governing body of FIFA states, there's no discrimination. Color, class, social background, financial background.
Right.
Football allows everyone to be on the same field, performing at the same time with the same rules.
We're getting ready for the Rush Fest in July, in the middle of crop over, as a matter of fact. And so, what does it take for you to be sure that we're ready for this?
So we, with the help of my coaches in the grassroots division, they identify the players to be on a trial. So you have to trial within the club first because there's so many. So we identify those players, then we start to go through a training process. And I'm sure some of the boys, when they come on, actually Milan and Brent went last year, so I'm sure that they'll be able to expand on that. But once they're identified, we train pretty hard, get them ready, play some friendly matches, and then the opportunity is presented. We can't do it again without corporate support because it could be somewhat of a costly venture to, tick off all the boxes. So if you may, I'd like to thank some of those persons who helped those boys to travel to Spain.
How many do you have?
I have at least 6 of them. If we could rattle them off, yes, because their support is necessary. We have the Art and Sport Promotion Fund Committee, Signia Global Finance, the National Sports Council, the Barbados Bottling, Lodge School alumni, because we have 2 boys from Lodge, the Ministry of Sport and Youth Empowerment, Sandpiper Hotel, and Confectionery Stats Unlimited. So thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Indeed, and it's always good to have that kind of corporate support indeed. So those 2 names which Ronaldo just mentioned, Milan and Brent, they'll join us in just a moment as we hear about them and their preparation also for the Rush Fest coming up. We're coming right back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solaray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. no one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're still looking at football, the value of football to the young man as he develops and the opportunities that derive therefrom. But we're also doing this through Kickstart Rush. Remember, kickstartrush.com is where you can actually go to see more about the programs there and allow your son, your daughter to sign up and be a part of it as well. These two young men here that I'm going to meet right now, under 13 years old, have made me jealous. They've been to Spain. I have not. Good morning to you, Milan Maynard.
Yes, please.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. 12 years old, right?
Yes, please.
You went to Spain?
Yeah.
How on heaven's earth did you get there? Don't tell me a plane. What is it that took you to Spain?
Going through a series of tests in the rush train, and I did well, and I got called back to go to Spain.
So when you heard, we're interested in Milan Maynard, can you find out whether or not he's available and whether his parents will say, okay? How did that make you feel?
I was very excited.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what did your parents think of this success for you?
They were proud of me, and I was proud of myself as well.
Oh, I'm immensely proud of you already. So how was Spain?
Spain was great, and it was a good experience. The level over there is very high, and the size difference, they're big.
They're massive.
They're massive.
You're talking about the land, or you're talking about the players that you played against?
The players I played against.
In your age category?
Well, we played 2 years above.
Oh, so how difficult or easy was that?
It was very difficult because they don't really lose the ball. They just play around you.
So you were tired by the time?
Yeah, I was just running around in circles.
Oh my word. And you were like, why did I come to Spain to just run around in circles? But you learned a lot, didn't you?
Yes.
What did you learn?
I learned that when you get the ball, not to rush. Like, when I have space, attack it, and then if I see somebody, pass.
Right. So that is one thing you learned. I'll come right back to you in a moment. Brent Lashley also went to Spain. Brent, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Brent is a teenager now. Brent goes to the St. Michael's School. And so, Brent, what was it like for you to get to Spain? What did you do?
It was really nice, and I got to see the other levels around the countries and stuff, and I liked it very much.
You liked what about it very much?
Spain in general and the competition.
So, what do you see as your future in the sport of football?
I think I can make it very far if I keep training and putting in the work and get these opportunities to go overseas and show my skill and hopefully get to that level.
Wow, that level is what you want to go. We're watching some video. I don't know if this is you guys playing again. Ronaldo, do you know what it is we're seeing?
This is the under 15. Those are the boys that are scheduled to come on. Some of their seniors, but they train with them at Kickstart Rush. We allow sometimes the faster growing players or the faster progressive players to play up.
Right.
So they're very familiar with some of those boys there, but they played in a similar competition as Milan said. Some of the players I saw, they were huge in comparison to him. So they did well. Got some good reports. Yeah, got some good reports.
And so, Brent, you were not in any way daunted by the size of these players from Spain, right?
Not really. I just play physical with them.
You could play as physical. What part of the team are you?
The striker.
What does that mean?
The man up top to score goals.
Or you're the one who expect goals from? And Milan? What you have to? So you got to do a lot of running.
I had to do a lot of running, run, dribble, pass, cross the ball to Brent, let him score.
You know this game tall. You know, I asked him while we were here waiting. So I said, "Oh, you have a footballing name. At least one team was named after you." And you said to me, Two. Man corrected me already. 2 already named after. And so there's Milan,
AC and Inter.
You like football that much?
Yes. Well, my dad did because he named me, and then I followed after him.
Is he named after a football team as well?
I am not sure, but probably not.
No, probably not. Who's your favorite footballer?
Messi or Ronaldinho.
Ah.
They both played for Barcelona, which is my favorite club.
Barcelona is your favorite club. I'm sure my technical director is happy with you on that one. He say boo. He doesn't necessarily like your favorite team, but that's his fault. But so you like that team. Why do you like that team?
Because of the generations of good players, and also my favorite player once played for them and was the best player that they ever had.
So do you see yourself at one time, sometime in your future, actually leaving Barbados to play professional football?
Yes, if I continue training and do what I do every day, I can see myself doing it.
Have you had a conversation yet with your parent that say, that goes like, no, that's enough football for now, you get into your books? Have you had those kinds
My mom, yeah, that's my mom.
It is always the mother, isn't it? Get into those books right now. But nonetheless, she's understanding. She still supports you in the game of football, right?
Yes, please. She comes to my games sometimes.
She actually comes. And is that important to you?
Well, it is very important for me, because when she comes, like, it makes me like, okay, I'll show her this, so she wasn't really,
Is it, you don't believe me? Watch this, right? All right. What about you, Brent? Do you have that kind of parental support as well?
Yes, but my father, he takes me to the games, and sometimes my mother comes.
And sometimes she comes. And when she shows up,
I don't really notice her really, because I'm focusing on the game. Yeah.
So how do you think football has changed you over time, Brent?
Yeah, I changed my personality and my growth as a player and a person, and I like it very much, so I enjoy doing what I do.
So this looks long term for you, football.
Yeah.
And regardless of whatever else you have to do with football, you don't think you'll ever go away from football?
Probably not.
Probably not. And in terms of management of time, because 13 years old, St. Michael's School, you know what that means. There's expectation of you. So talk to me about how you manage your time in the game while also balancing your academics.
First, I just after I train, like I come home late, but I want to go on my phone, but sometimes you have to like put in the work for exams. So I just revise a little bit.
And Ronaldo, are these conversations you have with these young men as well, so they understand life is more than just a game?
Yeah, no, for sure. I always say to them that eventually football ends. Even the physical game of football, then you have to go back into society and be considered a normal person. So the skills that you learn from football are that used to support football, the life skills, because part of our curriculum not just involves football, but we have soft skills listed on our curriculum. So I have these conversations with the fellas all the time, and being an educator by profession, I always preach and I always lean towards the scholastic side. I know all of them want to be a professional because they see the glitz and glamour of professional football, but I think we have a more accessible reach with the sports scholarship. So, and these are two brilliant boys. Milan's now at Commer, Brent at SMS, and they've both done very well in the last two terms, balancing both football and school. So I'm very proud of them, and by extension, the other boys who are doing so well at the club.
Well done, gentlemen. Milan and Brent.
Thank you.
I'm looking for your name emblazoned all over newspapers and billboards everywhere. Star footballers, all right? Milan, you promised me that?
Yes, please.
Good man, Brent.
Yes.
Good man as well. We're going to take a break here because these two guys will be replaced with some more outstanding players from the Kickstart Academy, I call it. But the kickstart.com. We'll come back in a moment.
Yeah.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturday.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
25 minutes to 8 o'clock now as we continue showcasing some of these outstanding young men from the Kickstart Rush Football Academy, I call it. And so joining me right now on the set along with Ronaldo is Ty Waterman, Sasha Pounder, and Adam King. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good. Now, Ty, there's a lot of magic behind you because I understand that you are the people's choice, the player's choice. You were a recipient of an award there, right?
Yes, sir.
Why? What was that for?
So that was for being the easiest to play with and their favorite out of the team.
The easiest to play with means in terms of your attitudes, or is it because you were easy to just rush past and score goals on that kind of thing?
Yes, sir.
You were easy to beat?
Yes, sir.
But you also came back from a tournament. You played in the Mediterranean, I'm told.
Yes, sir.
So how was that?
It was a very good experience. It helped me realize what I'm missing right now in my football, and it's helping me to improve.
What is it that you're missing?
My weak foot is not as strong as my strong foot, obviously. So I have to try to get that better, so it wouldn't be a disadvantage for me.
And what are you doing to get your weaker foot better?
In training, I would normally use my weak foot when I'm warming up with the ball, so I can get a feeling for it.
What does that mean, muscle? Or no power?
No power, sir. No power.
So explain that to me, Ronaldo.
So Ty is dominantly left-footed, and with left-footed players, they often lean with a right-footed dominant player. You know, we would adapt. But left-footed players, they're so left-footed, and that's one.
The boys laughing at you, right?
Yeah, because another one of them is very dominantly left-footed too. But I'm sure people say it different.
So you're also left-handed?
No, sir, I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed with a dominant. Okay,
yes,
I got you. Sasha, talk to me a little bit about going to be a part of the Mediterranean International Cup. How was that like for you?
It was a really great experience getting to meet all new players I've never played with before, playing with them on my team and against them. Getting to see how high the level is, how high football should be, and what I need to work on in terms of what I need to do on the field.
Okay, but I'm told that you are also the team's leading goal scorer. Yeah? Like he says it with a smile, he's like, yeah, it's me. I am the leading goal scorer. So all of the other boys know this about you, right?
Yeah.
And that when it comes to scoring goals, Sasha's the man. So what's the magic to your scoring so many goals?
Just try and get the ball forward quickly. Try and take shots, because if you don't take shots, you can't score.
Correct.
Just try and get in positions to be able to get the ball in net.
So who's your favorite footballer?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Everybody goes for Cristiano Ronaldo. Who's your favorite?
Myself.
Myself. I love that. Fair enough. You're honest. And with you now also is Adam King.
Yes,
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning.
Who is your favorite footballer?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
There you go. Why?
Because of his work and his dedication to the sport.
Or is it because everybody talks about him?
No.
You've
Dedication.
studied him yourself?
Yes.
Is there anything about Cristiano Ronaldo that you think you need to employ in your own playing of the game?
My dedication, discipline, and just always be working hard.
So how do you fix your dedication? You talk to yourself a lot.
Yeah, I talk to myself. I listen to motivational music. I just ask God to just help me with everything.
I am told that Cristiano Ronaldo takes his food so seriously that he's very careful of what he eats.
Yeah.
Have you studied that as well?
Yes, I did.
And do you follow his diet plan?
Not exactly.
Because you don't get it about here, right?
You don't get it about here.
What about you, Sasha? Since he's one of your favorites as well, have you studied his diet too?
I've been trying to eat a lot better recently.
What does that mean? That you're no longer eating corn kernels? What does that mean?
Well, it's trying to eat not processed food, like not fast food. Trying to eat more rice and more chicken and more vegetables and fruits. Something better for my diet that will help me as a footballer.
I see you guys peeping all the time at Mr. Gilts to see whether he approves in what he's hearing. Having heard what the boys eat, Ronaldo, what do you think?
Well, so all three of these boys, they represent the country. Actually, they were part of the winning team last year that won the CFU under 14. And actually, since then, we've seen steady growth in not just their football, their maturity as persons. So we support them as much as we can. Actually, at the club, we try to assist them with their snack selections. So yeah, I do. They are telling the truth.
That is so good indeed. So, Mr. Tai.
Yes, sir.
Who is your favorite?
Myself.
Yourself. And what is it about yourself that inspires you to be you?
Oh, my improvement from the last 2 years. I was not as good as I was 2 years ago. I would say, struggling to play the sport. But over 2 years, my coaches have helped me to improve on and understand the sport better.
Right. And so you are also, each of you, I believe it is, on the Barbados team?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, that must mean a lot. That must mean a tremendous thing. Was that always part of your plan as you were playing in the sport? You thought, I'm just having fun out there kicking ball. That was okay. But did you see that step by step that you will be playing not just in the Mediterranean International Cup, but representing Barbados? Was that part of your goal?
I did not expect it, but I had thoughts about it.
Yeah.
But I never really expected me as a footballer to make it that high.
So when you got the call up to be a part of the Barbados team, talk to me about how that news came and what was your first reaction?
I was very excited when I got it in my email from the BFA Technical Center. I was surprised actually, but I was very excited to go and train with the others and see if I could make the team.
And you've made the team. Sasha, what about you? How did you get the news and what was your reaction?
Was it not a surprise, honestly? Getting the reaction. My goal in football is always to be the best it can be, and getting to play for the Barbados national team has helped me a lot.
Well, you'll be wearing the Barbados colours, my brother. Yeah. Indeed. And Adam, what about you?
I was very excited and also nervous because it was about like 160 something people that got scoped, and then I was like shocked because I thought it was only like 20 something people that got scoped. When I saw like 160, like I just told myself I had to put in the work. So I put in the work, and I'm on the national team for Barbados.
So have you been to any of the stadia across the world, to whether it is as a spectator or a player, in your travels at all? No.
No.
Sasha? No.
Wait, what's the question again?
Have you been to any of those big stadiums you've heard of where football is played? Did you go to Spain as well?
Yeah.
Right. So in Spain, did you get a chance to visit any of the world-renowned?
Yes. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
Where?
We went to Barcelona Museum. It was next to the stadium that they're building, but didn't get to go in the stadium.
You didn't get to go inside. Tell you? Snuck inside?
We also trained in the Espanyol Stadium that plays in La Liga. We were coached by some of the players that play for them.
Right.
It's very good.
Any names you remember?
No, sir, honestly. I really struggled with their accent, Because they were speaking English, but they were like struggling.
In a strange way.
Spanish.
So all of a sudden, Adam, you remember now. You now remember, right?
The Spanish coaches, the main thing they were doing is passing. Everything with very high intensity, and when you always pass or move, no stopping any situations. You pass, you move. Yeah.
But know that you've had that experience. You believe you're a better player for having had that experience.
Much better player.
Much better. And so the provision of these opportunities, Ronaldo, is so critical to their development.
Yeah, because there's only so much that the environment provides. And I've had this conversation with some of my colleagues in coaching and also abroad, that once they reach to a level, there's only so much the environment could provide. I don't mean just the physical environment, but the level of the opponents, the quality of the field, the quality of the officiating. So by identifying that they're the creme de la creme of the club, the best of the best, we have to therefore then expose them to similar level players or even players just beyond them. So not just to improve them as players, but also to spur their aspirations and, you know, provide that horizon for them to say, hey, I could achieve this. So as soon as they display the talents that these guys have, we shove them over to Russia and say, hey, these boys are yours. Take them to where they need to be.
Wow. So you're the incubator.
Yeah.
And so what's next for these under-15s?
So, well, hopefully to win the BFA under 15 and under 17 tournament, because they will both be playing under 15 and under 17. That started last weekend. And then we have Rush Cup again in November. So we played last week, we finished third. We struggled a bit early with the weather, right, boys? It was very cool. It was unusually cool in Palm Beach. So cool, because apparently a cold front passed that weekend.
Okay.
But having that experience then being in Spain, the ambition is to win it next time, right, boys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's the aspiration.
They have the winning attitude already. For the under-13s?
Yes, and the under-13, well, they're going to join the under-15 group for the Rush Cup in November as well. But we have a group of now coming under 13s that we'll be going to Rush Fest that's going to be between July 4th to 13th. So we are going to be in Denver, Colorado for the Rush Fest in July.
All right, so there's a lot happening at Kickstart Rush, ladies and gentlemen. To each of you boys, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Ty, Sasha and Adam, you've done very, very well. Very well. And the future is yours if you grasp it and you apply yourself accordingly, okay?
Yes,
so all the best. We're looking forward to seeing your names as well emblazoned everywhere across the world as superstars from Barbados in football. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ronaldo, as well.
Thank you.
For doing the great work at the Kickstart Rush. Remind people again how to sign up and get a part of it.
Yes, you could visit our website at kickstartrush.com, and we're also on Facebook and Instagram with the handle Kickstart Rush. So check us out there.
Check us out there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all the best indeed. Morning Barbados is coming right back after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, we just have a little time still because we are getting ready very soon to hit the road to see how parents and students and everyone else there are lining up for the preparation to enter the compound. The schools across the island are today the place where the children are sitting their common interest examination today. The common interest exam day is today. And so they're already gathered. I see Kimberly is already gathered at one of our school sites across the island. As a matter of fact, she is in the parish of Christchurch. She's at the Dighton Griffith Secondary School, Kimberly. And there she smiles, but she doesn't talk back to me. Kimberly, if you can, good morning. All right, we'll try to get that resolved in just a moment. But children,
in all of the and bustle, we are prepared for the CAM. I'm right at the Dighton Griffith Secondary School as our young children from ages 10, through to 12 prepare for the Barbados Secondary School's entrance examinations. We know it affectionately as the Common Entrance or the 11 Plus. Now, there are at least 21 centers for examinations for today, but right here at the Dighton Griffith Secondary School, we have a couple schools that I can list for you. Shirley Chisholm, formerly Vauxhall Primary, not too far from here. We also have Luther Thorne Memorial. In addition to that, we have Gordon Walters Primary. And if my memory serves me correct, Luther Thorne, I think I mentioned Luther Thorne before. So we have at least 3 to 4 of those same schools sitting examinations right here today. Now, lots of traffic, lots of parents. Some will wait with bated breath until the end of the examination. Some will bid their little ones the best, give them a hug and a kiss. But we know for sure that this is the most important moment for children, not the parents, for the children. And with this, we wish them all the best as they step forward into another chapter of their lives. Now, I've had a chance to chat with an early sitter. 10 years old. She's going to be 11 in June. And she is a student of the...
All right, as you can hear for yourself, a little bit of a hitchy-pitchy, so to speak. You know, the internet as it goes sometimes does that, but you can see in the crowd behind where Kimberly is standing, well, I could. I don't know if you can. I doubt you could. But, you know, already there are so many parents and children gathered just outside of the gates of the Dighton Griffith Secondary School. Traditionally, at this time, it's very, very busy as children are dropped off who attend that school. But today is slightly different as many children coming from the nearby primary schools are all gathering there today to have their moment to sit the exam for the common entrance. I'll tell you what, we'll take a break here. When we come back, I'm hoping that we have that situation resolved. Back in a bit.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved. But not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Still working on having that resolved, but there's a riddle outstanding for you to answer me on. 228-5562 or 228-5563. It belongs to you, but your friends use it more. What is it? It belongs to you, but your friends use it more. What is it? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me right now. Let's see if before the close of the show you can get this one right. If not, it becomes tomorrow's question, early o'clock. It belongs to you, but your friends use it more. What is it? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me now. Let me know. It belongs to you, but your friends use it more. What is it? Call. 228-5562 or 228-5563. We have a call. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you think you have an answer for me?
Yes, please.
What's the answer?
Your name.
Why is that the answer?
Because I don't call myself, but other people call my name.
It belongs to you,
Yeah, it's
but
my
your
name.
friends use it more. And you think the answer is name. And your rationale for me, your reasoning is you don't call your name.
I don't call me. I don't say, Terry come, Terry here, no.
You don't say that. So if anyone were to ask, as I'm doing now, what's your name?
Terry.
And did you just use your name?
Yes, because you asked me what my name was.
No, my question simply was, did you just use your name? And your answer was yes, right?
Yeah.
The question says, it belongs to you, but your friends use it more. And you're saying to me, when you answered that, you don't use your name. That's what you said to me.
If somebody asked me my name, I would tell them.
But you still use your name? You told me you don't use your name?
Yes, fair say. You're trying to tie me up.
I don't, not me. Not me at all. I'm just going based upon what you've said. And you said to me, you don't use your name, so your answer therefore is name.
Yes.
And you think that that's the best answer you can give to me this morning?
I think so.
All right. Well, you're right.
I know.
Have a good day, okay?
Okay, you too.
All right, good again. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I think the video is moving a little bit smoother now. I don't know if we can still. Kimberly, over to you.
We also have Wills Primary School. I see many children from Wills Primary School making their way in, but I happened to stumble across some students from St. Bartholomew. And is this Mummy?
Yes, please.
Congratulations. All the best. Do you tell me your name?
Makai.
Makai? That's a beautiful name. And what's yours?
Rakai Trotman. Rakai Trotman.
Rakai Trotman. So how long have you been really putting in all of this extra work for the common entrance? What have you been doing?
Composition and the math.
And math. How are you feeling this morning?
Good.
Is there any school that you have your sights on?
Foundation.
You'd like to go to Foundation? I wish you all the best. And of course, if you do happen to grace the halls of Foundation School, we'll look out for you. We'll definitely look out for you. What about you, Rakai?
Sure.
You're looking to go to Foundation? You want to go to Dayton Griffith School? Well, let me give you a little hint. Some of us have the gift of passing for the same school that we sit the exam at. So cross your fingers. I know you put in all of the work, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. And I want to wish you all the best as you take your exam.
Thanks.
Mom, excellent job.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
A little nervous.
A little nervous? But you ain't doing the exam?
Yes, but I'm confident that he will do well.
Fantastic. I want to wish you all the best as you sit your common entrance today, yes? And as you can see, it is really a hive of activity. Some parents are a little nervous, some children are a little subdued, but most of them are eager and ready and raring to go. And I'm hoping that somewhere along the line we'll be able to give you a little bit of what's happening after the examination. But just to remind you where we are this morning, we're at the Dayton Griffith Secondary School. Today is the common entrance, the Barbados Secondary School entrance examination, and we want to wish all of our young ones all the best as they step forward into another chapter, a very thrilling chapter of their lives.
Kimberly, thank you. We join you in that sentiment as well. We wish them all well at all of the schools across the island as they march in. They'll come right back out in a matter of hours. Let's celebrate all of their achievements always. The crowds continue to gather outside the doors of those secondary schools, the gates of those secondary schools. The children will be allowed in. They'll do their examination. They'll come right back out, and parents don't know naturally will be there. But don't block the roads. Don't block the roads. All right, folks, that's it for today. Do join us again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.